So this is a video which is embedded in a weekly newsletter which goes out on the LinkedIn platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to link to that newsletter in the resource box on YouTube, so please go and check it out. It will give you a better idea of what I'm talking about and the sort of context through which this particular video is happening. Now, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, today I chose to communicate through talking rather than writing. Mostly talking rather than mostly writing. And usually I produce about 1,000 words every week, which communicates something important to you, which I'm hoping will help you see more, do more with less effort, and actually improve your communication and marketing and messaging and have better outcomes in your business activities. The reason I chose this method this week is because I've been thinking about this for some time. I have been talking about semantic density and information density, and these terms are a little bit interchangeable in certain contexts. I spoke about this in my book, The Social Media Mind, and I also spoke about it in my book, which is Google Semantic Search. The reason I'm bringing it up now is it's becoming more and more current in an environment where the digital medium is achieving a certain degree of maturity, and also because of that, a lot of perhaps our worst impulses are surfacing because more and more of us are using it without clearly understanding what we're doing and the effect it has. I'm hoping that by discussing this, you will be able to make better decisions in the way you communicate your marketing messages. You will be able to understand a little bit better what it is that actually governs the things which you say or the things which you produce and the impact that they have or are likely to have on your target audience. Now, essentially, when it comes to semantic density or information density, that is part of the channel through which we choose to express something, and the amount of information that can be packed into it, in my theory of it, has a different effect on the target audience that receives it. That depends entirely through the channel of which they receive it. Now, Marshall McLuhan before me said this a lot more elegantly by saying that the medium is the message. And essentially what he meant by that is that the medium embeds itself in the message, which then has a perceived effect on the audience that receives it, which then governs their reaction to it. In the digital domain, none of us is here by accident. We are all here by intent, which means that with no exceptions, we all have some kind of agenda in terms of our expectations and at least the perceived impact that we expect to have on our audience through the actions we choose to undertake. So what this means now is that when you choose to communicate, what you choose to communicate, by your choice of medium in itself, applies a filtering effect, and some things become less communicable and some things become more communicable. And I'll tell you what I mean by this, because business marketing in itself is a fairly serious subject, and yet think that it is hard not to be playful in order to communicate something when you're using a meme. And the opposite is true when you're using a 1,000-word article. So the meme itself begs for that entertainment element to rise through it in order to capture attention and engage, whereas the article, which has 1,000 words, goes the other way and will become a lot more serious, a lot more evidence-driven, a lot more link-driven, all those things which actually make an article. So when it comes to choosing your channel, the type of messaging that you will put in effect will also be affected. And it is always best when you choose the best channel possible for the messaging you have in mind. And consider that if I had written all of this, I'll probably need at least 3,000 words. And we covered it in just a few minutes. I'm going to link on LinkedIn, on the newsletter, to a couple of articles which I would strongly recommend you read. I hope all this helps. Take care.